Manchester United just scraped a win against Fulham by the skin of their teeth after Ruben Amorim admitted his squad is the worst in the history of Man United, but I think we can make it even worse ourselves by taking over the Manchester club, but going below the Premier League and below the Championship, below League One, taking them to the depths of English football, releasing all their players because, after all, they're not good enough, and seeing if we can rebuild United with a bit of a twist. As not only are they in the lowest ranked league in English football, but Sir Jim Ratcliffe has absolutely bankrupted Manchester United. As yes, people, welcome to a build that's going to be massive today. United and 4th tier. Put them together, you've got a huge build. As this is the team we have, and this doesn't look like Manchester United or the Man United we know. This is a very weak squad, as everybody above the rating of 70 has gone. Our best player is retiring, Tom Heaton, the 70 rated. Johnny Evans has gone, Garnacho's finally gone, Kobe Mainu, and also the manager Ruben Amorim. Giving us free reign over this squad, we can change the formation, players, shape, and everything, which makes me feel a lot better, but there is still 2 rules to follow. The first is before we reach the Premier League, no signings over 10 million. We have got to give the youth a chance, and we've got to utilise them in a certain way, because the class of 92 came around. We've got to make another class of 92 with 5 youth players in the first team squad at all times, and I am not counting the players already here like Hurst, who we've just got from scouting or releasing players. Yes, that's right, these players have come from releasement. So Hadjanajev, he isn't even English, so he does not count towards the 92. And we've got 0 million in the budget, so yeah, we've got to try and afford an academy, whilst also using the players already here for the time being. At least we already have a scout though, a 5-star experience. Can't send him out this year unless we did go ahead and sell a player, but we do have these already at the club. These are the default ones. No one too good. We've got no one out of the ordinary. Archie Davis, maybe he could shout he's the next David Beckham, but I don't think that at all. I just think we've got to roll with what we've got. Yeah, not a big fan initially of any of them players we see in the academy, as we've got to pick a formation, and I'm thinking one with a lot of centre mids. Maybe this one, 2 strikers, a cam, and then 3 to fit our players all into, and I think that's best for season number 1. Everybody has a backup on the bench. This is the starting 11. We've got Wheatley, Hugh Gill, Bennett and Toby Collier in the defence, and Harry Amas at 17. He could grow to be something special, playing counter for the first season because I don't trust the lads really as they are, and running with this tactic, as without further ado, this is what we're using. Yeah, not much to do season 1 apart from get the players in a shape. Hopefully next season we have some money, and next season we can try and get promoted. Although the shape of the team is good enough. Ethan Hurst at 17. Potential to be special, of course, doesn't count towards an academy player. None of them do, as Vitek, Wheatley and Toby Collier should have changed positions and does to a 67, as also Sakva should have done, and he goes up to a 65, and one of our wingers the same, Jesse Vaughan. I changed him to a cam to try and get him into the team, as the 2 highest rateds look like the stars, Ethan Hurst and Ethan Wheatley. It's the Ethan show at Manchester United with 28 goals and 24. As this is the team that has been playing. So Collier actually hasn't. Heaton hasn't. It's been Vitek, and when I take him out of the team, we do need another captain. And I think the way the save has started, it has got to be this Ethan Hurst kid. Not part of the 92, but the 92 is yet to come and will be coming in League One of England, you know. It's an instant promotion with the young lads, and we really haven't done anything. Literally just put them into a shape, the starting players we had at the club, and we've got them 1 League 2. League One will be a whole different kettle of fish. We've got the Wrexhams, the Huddersfields, the Birminghams as Chelsea win the FA Cup. No big run from our lads. We got to round 3 and then lost to Millwall. And then actually reached round 2 of the Carabao, losing on penalties to Ipswich, which is a little bit harsh on us because that's a good tie. Playing a Premier League club as Wycombe win the BSM trophy. We crashed out to Tranmere in round 2 after winning our group stage, which, come on, is not bad at all. This hasn't been a bad first season. Has any of the current academy players grown? Because I did keep them around for now. Hunter Jackson, slightly, but he's Canadian, so won't count towards objectives, as we need to find 5 youth players in the upcoming seasons. Definitely won't be easy now we are reaching League One. And as always, you guys know, we really do need luck in these kind of rebuilds, so hit the like and subscribe to the channel for more of these builds. League One, get in, but it is definitely not going to be simple. We've got contracts to sign. Now, what are the demands going to be? Of course, these are young players, not great ratings. They're all below 70, but this is Manchester United. Great. They're leaving it to me. And, yeah, it's a mixed bag. They're not being too expensive, but 11k a week for Joe Hugill. It's not really League One level. They're wanting a little more bang for the buck, because what's the budget? It says 11 million, but 5 is all we've been given, and we've spent a bit going into this season. In League One, at least we've got the budget sorted, and we can't spend over 10 million anyway on a single player, as I think the first position we definitely work upon is central midfield, but also not just that. We've got to look at right back, because there is a certain class of 92 player that did play there in Gary Neville, and just because we're not going for wingers just yet, doesn't mean we won't at some point. So I am going to stick wingers on the search to try and get the next David Beckham, maybe Ryan Giggs. Beautiful players. As for now, with the rest of the money we can spend, we need another goalkeeper, but I'm not looking to replace Vitek. I'm looking for someone to just sit behind him and maybe play a couple of cup games, as Jack Bycroft over at Swindon Town would have been the first signing, apart from we actually can't go ahead and buy him. Mildly frustrating, because how are we going to actually get to spend our money? Well, yes, we are. 400k on this funny named goalkeeper, David Harrington, and it's funny because his name sounds like Carrington, which is the place he's just walked into. It is Manchester United's training ground. Funny that, as now we do have our youth players to flick back to, because before we make another signing, we have got to be aware that these guys come with a wage, and a first team wage at this level. 3k is not a small margin, and at least we found some very good players in Peter Robinson, Bourne, Hayes and Knowles, and we've also got a good right back, Caleb Higgins. Probably needs a loan deal once he's old enough, but look at these talents. Oh, these are gonna work. Robinson as well, only 16, and he's gotta go into our team. So season 2 tinkering, and I think the 4-1-1 midfield, yes, doesn't play to the winger strength, but still, it keeps our midfielders. Allows Dangor to go left mid, had Najev supporting Wheatley and Robinson on the right. This team maybe could survive. Happy with the team, and alright, I am happy with that position. 16th, it is survival, and survival is literally all we wanted. Surprised Wrexham were that low down. And yeah, we've done a bit of loaning this season. I will show you that in a second, as the FA Cup, we only reached round 2. And the Carabao Cup, round 2. We lost to Fleetwood, where we just signed the goalkeeper, showing we're not winning in cups, unless we do go and win that Papa John's trophy, or Bristol Street Motors. But no, Bolton, kind of a rival here, because Bolton, Manchester, kind of close in proximity. We lost to Stockport, another rival, because that is literally Manchester. So I'm not too happy on that. And I have done a lot of position changing, with this team growing quite nicely. Of course, we've had to play Glover, because we don't have a right back through. And I guess we've got one player counting towards the 92, which is Robson. As you can see, I'm going to put a badge over which players do count, meaning we've got a long distance to go. But we do have some players out on loan, like I said. But before that, some changes. These aren't two academy players. I'm just trying to make us better, like Luis Barnes is going to be a centre-back. Dangor changes to a left mid, 67 rated now, and maybe should get played, as Robson goes to a right mid. Should make him a little stronger, but there's a right mid on the come up. Nicholas Knowles. He was one of the players we promoted alongside Frankie Bernard. I believe he just came through the academy. Maybe didn't. And it's a shame because our two best academy players are both right mids, as you can see. But I'm going to check the stats this season. And it's the Ethan show again with Ethan Wheatley. 15 goals. As now, not only contracts to sign, which will keep going up, I believe, but position changes to make. Nicholas Knowles, get on that left-hand side. I'm desperate to make him work, as we've got to keep looking at fullbacks. Now, Harry Amas is actually the lowest, and Glover can play left-back if needed. So we could technically still search for the right-back, but then centre-backs. Could we replace Bennett? 22-year-old now, not getting any younger, and the budget only getting higher, meaning with £8 million, could we even make a signing to replace him? Maybe we could, but I'm going to check the current academy because we do have a class keeper, Hunter Jackson. We just signed a backup, which is annoying, and I've got the players on drills. Sean Stubbs has great potential, and also Caleb Higgins, but I don't think he's just ready yet. Meaning I'm going to use the academy to go and search for a right back again, but as you can see on this screen, I'm going to go for 2 academy scouts. That first one going to England because I'm desperate to find some English talent. Looking through the middle again for centre mid and centre back especially. Then I'm going to send the other scout to the Republic of Ireland firstly to try and find the fullbacks. Maybe a Dennis Irwin. A fantastic Man United legend if you do know him. He could play either side, as I have just signed up all the contracts as well, leaving 2 players out. Barnes, who will be replaced, and Elijah Dean, a very false striker, not looking too good, as of course we've got to look for an academy player, or a few, but we've still got a lot of money left over to spend. So can we find a striker? Well, this one looks a very good talent. Josh Andrews, who I believe did come from the Everton Academy. So I'm going to sign him as our tall, physical striker option. As speaking of physical options as well, I have gone and got a centre-back in Connolly, just to sit on the bench. Of course, now a striker and centre-back to replace them players going out, who I'm releasing at the end of their deals, giving us the freedom to focus upon our youth, as look at that potential. Liam Gilbert looks incredible at 14, 94 potential maximum. Fantastic from the Englishman, but now anything in Ireland. A few players here and there, like Christopher Gleeson and Ben McDonald, but we can't promote him. We've filled our academy with some very good talent. As you can see, we found 2 more left-hand side midfielders and a lot better players with potential, as I'm going to kick out some with the less potential to make room for players like Ben McDonald, as this academy window is going to go insane. I am promoting a lot of these youngsters. As this seems to be turning into an academy thing. I don't want it to turn into fully, but as you can see, the loan boys are out. Each one of these, including Sean Stubbs, is from the academy, so will count towards the 92. None of the initial starters here, apart from Hunter Jackson as the ratings. Well, we've got a position swap. Knowlesy boy on the left now, so maybe he hasn't played this season. Maybe it's Gev game time elsewhere, but still, I don't mind it. It looks like Gore has played and scored, but not as much as Wheatley, with 27 this season. That is nuts, and this team is nuts. But Wheatley not the highest rated. We've got Hurst at a 79, and also Vitek at a 79. Unbelievable, as this first team still at the moment only has 2 academy players in it, and need to keep on building up. Is this a problem? Winning League 1. So we are going to go to the championship with a trophy, but is it a problem because Our academy players, we're slacking by 3. And we're going to be in the championship, meaning they probably won't get game time. We're probably going to have to loan for a while, as we need to win the Champions League with them 5 academy youngsters. Despite still not going far in cups, we lost to Rotherham 1-0 in round 2 again, and Gillingham in round 2, where we've literally just signed our striker from. So that's embarrassing. And Rotherham again, round 2 of the BSM again, not getting our hands on them trophies, so probably not getting the budget increases that we need. And now in the academy, I might as well promote Caleb Higgins, 61 rated now. Get him and a lot of other players out on loan, because they are not first team level. And now Man United in the championship could happen in real life. Sorry to United fans, but it's definitely a possibility. A few more points saved now, but we need to loan our players out because they won't play. And £21 million. Could we go even more ham with the academy? Because as you can see, a lot of loan listed players we need to try and fit in this first team, but some of them with poor ratings, like Jesse Vaughan at 63 rated, and Higgins, who we've just promoted. Can we just skip to 65 rated by getting better academy scouts? I'm going to sack the one in the middle. Go for Matthias Johnson. He's Norwegian. He's £3 million. And then also Ethan Crook. Yes, I am going to go with the 3 scouts to try and find something special, as the first one, as always, going to England. The second one, Northern Ireland. I'm going to hang off the Republic. And then the third one, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go and look in Indonesia to see if there's any talent in there. As you might be thinking, Max, that wasn't that expensive. Almost 10 million gone from the budget we initially started with. And that's because now we're a championship team. I have just signed up contracts, and players seem to be getting a lot more expensive. So I think we've got roughly around 5 million to spend on a signing, because I am going to try and make one, and I am going to try and replace Bennett now. Need someone I can trust a bit more, maybe a left footer, as I'm searching in Germany. And this man's already good. And gets good, Marton Dardai. Signed him on so many saves before, and I just love this Hungarian beast, who goes straight into that left centre-back slot and partners with Toby Collier, a player I haven't spoke about enough, playing, of course, in real life for Manchester United, and getting his chance here, as we need to really find the best youth players out the academy, because still, we don't have much room in it. Kicked a few more players out though, and look, it is a lot better. A lot better this year. We've got Harley Dean, who is a cam, you know. So he could go into that slot. Harry Elliott can push Harry Amas. And also Elliot Skinner. What is it with players beginning with E? We've got Jair Dugan. I'm going to promote all these we can. And Dedi Do It, the only Indonesian. And because he's got blue hair. Thought that was cool. There's now 41 players. But one thing I'm currently missing, and I never show this when I'm doing a build, but we haven't touched the coaching, as this is all we could afford, and I'm trying to focus on 2 positions currently. The midfielders for that cam and centre mid we have in the academy, and also goalkeeper, because goalkeeper we can always improve upon. And ladies and gents, the last hour has been the longest of my life, loaning all these players out, but still, it looks worth it. Not with Harley Dean, who I thought would be a lot better, but Caleb Higgins. Now, I've spoke about this guy a lot this save. Don't know what it was, I just believed he would get towards that potential, and Sean Stubbs as well. He had a lot of potential when we saw him. So them two look first team worthy if we're still in the championship. If we're going to the Premier League, which is kind of possible. With the 70 rated, it might be harder as still. Our list goes on. Look at the amount of players we have, all just below 70, which is annoying as this is the first team. And oh my days, look at the growth in Hurst. If only he was one of the academy players, which of course he's not. It could have been brilliant. And Knowles do not like his lack of game time, giving more of it to Dangor. Maybe we make Dangor a cam to just get him out of the way of that position, because we do have 2 players currently. We can add another 2 in the 2 we had out on loan, leaving 1 more needed. 1 more academy player needed, and then, well, I was going to say, hit the Premier League, but United already back into it. Now, that's a bit of a blessing in disguise because, of course, Premier League football, but finding another youth player completely out of nowhere is going to be difficult. As you can see, Aston Villa win a FA Cup as we go ahead and get thumped by Luton Town 5-0. Must have not played a first team there as Aston Villa go and do a double. With us losing to Spurs in the round of 16, a little bit of improvement. With no BSM trophy this year, and let's have a look at the ratings this way. The goalkeeper, striker, and centre mid. The 3 key positions. We do have great players. It's just about growing the rest of them, as no wonder he's hit an 87, 27 goals, 14 assists. Impeccable. As now, what the heck do we do with this academy? Because we're a Premier League Man United now. We've come all the way from the depths of League 2, rising like a phoenix and rising to collect our old budgets, roughly around this mark. £71 million to spend after wages, because we do have 41 players. We've got a lot of players on basic drills. We do need to try and find another player, as Louis Smith does look all right. Max Lister, the goalkeeper. If we could get a goalkeeper out on loan, maybe we could sell Vitek and make some money in the goalkeeping slot, as we do have 4 youth players, and one of them on the wing has actually changed to this man Born, who I'm going to be training there, and also Hayes. Now, when we compare him to Hadnadjev, he's only 3 ratings behind him. So maybe we could sell the Serbian, because he does not count as a youth player, just a player that came to play for us when we were stuck in the depth of League 2. So could cash in on him from Feyenoord, 18.3 million. Or he even goes to Southampton for 17.7. A lot of bids flying in for this man, but I'm just glad to get him out, sell him to the Eredivisie, and now can put another youth player in, making it 5. So we do have our class of 92 in here, plus youth players such as Collier, Amas, and Vitek. But speaking of Harry Amas, 75 rated in the squad, not going towards an objective, so maybe we do sign a centre-back. And it is a rule, of course, in these rebuilds. I don't know if I've said it already, but we cannot sign players that did leave the club in the past. So no Luke Shaw, as I'm going to look away from England and Kean Best. We are doing something with youth here. It would be stupid to just go for an oldie. So why not be sensible? We'll have him and Amas fight it out, and we'll put the 60 million in to wages and maybe another academy. Or sorry, not actually academy, but coaches. We've gone for coaches. I couldn't take any more academy players. I think it would actually drive me nuts. As we can't forget here, now we're in the Premier League, not only do we just use this team with the youth already in it, but we can buy anyone for any price. That's right, the 10 million max spend is off the table. And I think it's a good job as well, because this bench looks a little bit stinky. Gotta do some mopping up there, but then in the first team, we've got some academy players, plus Hurst in the middle, 21-year-old, 92 rated. Phenomenal, as he wasn't the top scorer though. His partner, Sean Stubbs of the academy, is the top scorer, outscoring Wheatley. The striker not getting the most, and we've got Higgins, who did play. Louis Smith out on loan. Ellie Skinner. These two look decent. Also, Max Lister, the goalkeeper, almost at a 75. Unfortunately, at the moment, though, unless we are relegated, I think we've outgrown him, as we're not. We're clearly in the Premier League. Looks like Manchester United tax picked 10 points up. We do survive, despite a terrible goal difference, but still no trophy, apart from them lower league ones, as we did reach a quarter-final. And then City go ahead and win the Carabao 3-1 over Southampton, as we reach round 3 only, losing to a team below us in Bournemouth. Yeah, I'd love a trophy at Manchester United now, as still we're going to stick with Bourne out wide, despite close competition from Dangor, and I forgot a few loanees to show you, because I did loan out a few of our good players, like Knowles, who went to Roma. 85 rated is the youngster. And also Bourne, this midfielder. Why did I not show these off? I would have seen them if I saw the ratings. And then, of course, we do have Max Lister going onto the bench, but Bourne and Knowles back into the first team. But I can't help but feel sorry for Stubbs, who goes on to the subs. And is that really the best thing for him? Because he still has the potential to be special, as maybe we try another party trick. Maybe it is the downfall of Hayes. As Hurst from day one, he only takes 2 weeks to cam, and with 97 finishing, 97 attacking positioning, he could move a bit forward. We've got Stubbs and Bourne behind them, and then we can work on the defence, because Toby Collier and also Best hasn't worked out the best. An 86 million, but Wheatley up front. He didn't score many goals last year. I think he got like 10, and he might be a good bench option. With Hugill at a 72, I think Wheatley will just be on that sub, or be a sub on that subs bench, as we need to go and buy a striker for any price, as any stuck in the championship, the second tier. When we have been signing, we've done well signing from below us, getting some good ones, some bargains, but unfortunately I don't see anyone over 80 until Yusufa Moukoko shows up. Now he's a year older than Wheatley is, but if we just make them two fight it out, it could be scenes as welcome Moukoko from Everton doing a Wayne Rooney, but still, I don't like the price tag. That's half of our budget gone, and the wage is astronomical. 80k a week. That is a lot more than Radak Vitek, who is a lot better player, as I keep looking at Toby Collier. I don't really want to sell him, but he's 25-year-old now. Then again, Best at left back isn't the best. He hasn't had a good season, nor has Higgins, who could be out of the first team because we've got 5 academy players through the midfield line. We don't need him in defense, so I think Higgins will go. Maybe stick around on the bench. As for the first time in this save, maybe we sign someone else's youngster, as this right back from Atleti Madrid, Simon Peters, looks very good. And look at that, 83 rated. He's only gone and improved our back line, with Vitek in the goal as a 90 rated now. The weakest is Toby Collier and Kian Best, who funnily enough shares one of the best names in football, Georgie Best, Man United. You do get the link there. It tells me he kind of belongs, as these players do belong in the Premier League. Just look at them. Improvement galore with the youngsters, and Hurst has gone up to a 95 overall. If only he was an academy prospect, it would have actually been brilliant. But before we go on to scorers, we do lose a prospect in Collier, who was here before us, because let's face it, yes, he's brilliant. We already have a backup centre-back and he's 26-year-old. I could have tried to sell him, but we have 46 million as it is, plus next year's budget. And I'm releasing him from his wage, so the money will just skyrocket. Plus it saved me paying his contract this year when there's better players, such as Stubbs, Moukoko and Hurst. 24 goals. Could he actually be up for a Ballon d'Or next season? Well, 8th in the league. I don't think that's Ballon d'Or worthy, even for the player, because we're not going to be playing in Europe, because Forest, who finished below us, go ahead and win that FA Cup trophy, meaning we won't go through to it because they take our 8th position of Conference League as Chelsea win the Carabao. They beat us in the FA Cup. And with our squad, we should be here because we've got the 90 rateds now. They have just got to perform. We are Manchester United. As we start this next project in the Premier League, I'm calling it a project, with losing a project player, Toby Collier, who Amorim does fancy, playing him in the first team, but it equals our biggest budget as one of the big players off the wage bill, £89 million to invest into our young squad. And of course, we've got to look for a replacement. But still, before we do that, I want to get these players playing more. Both our wingers in Robinson and Knowles have 98 pace, so I'm going to have them attacking. They're basically taking us to a 4-2-3-1 formation, or the 4-2-1-3, because Moukoko up front on his own. I'm going to make him a target forward. Now, I know that isn't his playstyle plus, but it works for Wheatley on the bench still, and you've got to play to the manager's shape, like Man United play in Ruben Amorim. And I think the only thing I want for this formation under MWS is a right-footed centre-back. So despite how good this man is, Araujo, I won't be going for him. There's another Araujo with a good right foot. But I won't go for him also. I want Odilon Kusunu. Not young at all, but honestly looks a brilliant centre-back who fits this formation like a glove, and there we land on him, leaving us £90 million, and I haven't actually gone and said it yet, but the academy is off limits. I think it's run its race. Don't see us getting any other players in there. As back to the first team, can we work on this bench anymore? Because maybe we could go for a centre mid. Didn't see one of those on the bench, and there is Lucien Agume stuck in the championship with Coventry, and I cannot let that happen. I've saved him and inadvertently blessed him with what he can see from sitting on that bench, because look at this first team squad we have. 88s, 89s, a couple of 90s floating around, and of course my man Hurst, 23-year-old, 97 rated. He's unreal, as I've got questions, big questions to ask if we don't go ahead and win the league, because we've got the best squad in the world. Better than Real Madrid. As you can see, I'm releasing a few weak players who haven't come on the journey alongside us, including Harry Amas, who just hasn't been really good when others have in his position. Like Best, 6 goals, 7 assists, but our best player, Yusufa Moukoko, actually above Hurst as this. This is actually unreal. 12 points at the top, above the rivals Manchester City, meaning a Premier League in the cabinet, Champions League football for next year, and to go alongside that, our first domestic victory. So back to that cabinet straight away. Don't forget to put the FA Cup in there, but we don't put the Carabao Cup in. The rivals Man City win that one, so not done just yet. Hammered by Tottenham Hotspur, and like I said, not in the Conference League. We got knocked away from our slot, but honestly, what does stop us from going one further to the Champions League with this absolute god squad, which is a Man United reset? That's what I really love about this team. It's not Amorim's, it's mine. We've literally come from that budget saying 0, and now it says 160. With 6 zeros after it, I must add, because it's 160 million to go and invest in this squad with. As again, I'm looking at centre-back. This time bench centre-back, because Bennett, he's not been one that's grown nice. Also, Gore. Dan Gore, I really feel sorry for him because I really wanted to use him. Recommended him so much to buy for Championship teams, League One teams on my TikTok series, which, if you're not watching, make sure you are below, somewhere in the description. As whilst I'm looking at new players, I've gone ahead and found some old ones, and it's got me thinking, where are the OG bunch? Hiding as Marcus Rashford, 78 rated at Lens, as Rasmus Højlund at Nottingham. He wanted to stay close to Manchester. Same as Xerxes going to Liverpool, one of the bitter rivals, and Bruno Fernandes went to retire. That is the sensible option to make, as a lot of others did, like Casemiro, Johnny Evans, Tom Heaton. As these are the honourable mentions, we've got Garnacho, Yoro and Mainu, who I would love to sign back, but cannot due to the objectives of not signing past players. We need a centre-back, we need a big one, who hasn't played for United before, and I was going to go for a bench man, but Ronald Araujo, definitely within our pay grade. This man's insane for Barcelona, his defending from right back or centre-back, so I'm going to add him to the squad, and yet again, another 90 rated. And signing the best of the best when you are currently the best team only keeps you at the top. I mean, 70 points, that isn't much, you know. But it's enough for another Prem title over the rivals, Manchester City, who we beat in the Community Shield. Very nice feeling to beat the rivals head on. However, the FA Cup, which we count, and never count the Community Shield, as a trophy is won by Southampton. Congratulations to them. Don't see them winning much in real life, as we beat them by a League 2 team, where we came from, and then a League 1 team beat us in the Carabao Cup. Coached by Super Steve Bruce. I mean, at least he does have experience. As Cheltenham was a surprise, but that's not a surprise. 4th in the division, or the league phase of the Champions League, as Lombardia hammered 5-1, Bayern hammered 4-1, and then on to Milan 4-0 to reach the final. But this is a surprise, not the team I expected to play. West Ham United. I wonder if they've got any of our old players. Let's have a check, because we did release all those at the start, and they've reached this finale. As they do, Kobe Mainu, they must have signed from Wolves, and also Lisandro Martinez at 34. He's playing amazingly. And I believe they were the side with Sancho at the start, which is a weird thing, as Araujo's rating already down 89. He's gonna come out the team. Fokasunu now 91, as this team looks absolutely phenomenal, with the Cam, the main man, Hurst, 24 years of age. And it's at Wembley Stadium, so very close to West Ham United. A little bit of a cheat code. At least it's not the London Stadium, which is their home, as Balde tried to get past Arman Robinson, the winger, as I'm looking forward to using a lot of our younger talents. However, 2 tackles in a row gives the ball to Jadon Sancho, drilling into the box. Get a tackle in. He's round Peters, who does get a foot back in. Bit of a chess game so far, this one, as Hurst. That's a good ball over the top, though, into Knowles. Knowles does cuts inside of his man, the man who didn't work out. Initially being played on the wing. It's a brilliant run from Knowles. 1-0 to Manchester United. My voice is slowly dying still, and that is perfect. He celebrates with 2 youth players. One of the OG ones, I think, from our first batch of academy players, ran all the way from the left to the right, which initially was his correct position. That's where he played, as now Hurst. Get that ball through that gap. Chase Balde down, come on. It's not done. We need to get more goals for a safety net, as here he is. Robinson making a lot of tackles forward, crossing it towards Makoko. Falls to Hurst. Our main man, Hurst. So close to a goal there, as now we need to try and stay away from Kobe Mainu. He will be up for this. Almost the start of the second half, which we need to get really playing in. Come on, Hurst. That's a nice ball forward. On to Knowles. Across the deck. Look at the curve. Look at the ball to Makoko, who in the middle taps it home. One of our key signings as well. Now, we didn't make many of those, so I'm so glad it's actually worked out. For our striker, get in, but Knowles, again on the left-hand side with that curler peach of a cross. Goalkeeper even dived out the way of it. I mean, I did do the press conference for this game, trying to make it easier. I thought it would be a bit more of a challenge. Makoko, if he's onside, this could get embarrassing for West Ham. They shouldn't really be in a final. Poor decision making from me. Tried to score a spectacular goal instead of just scoring the goal as all. That is a very good ball forward. Missed by their front man, which isn't the case usually. We usually get pegged back by a goal at least, as that's another ball towards their front man. Surely handled it. And did. The referee just took his time with the whistle. They're trying to let them back in it? Surely not, as it doesn't matter. We don't even get another move to go forward before the referee blows the whistle, giving our young team that Champions League title. What a run it has been from League 2 and not making a signing in our first season to this, the Champions League. And unlucky for some is number 13, but not unlucky for Georgie Hurst, I believe. That was his first name, no? Or name. I said that really weird. I'm gonna go lay down now. But if you do want to see this done with another team, maybe outside of the Prem, comment who should get the points deduction, who should get bankrupt. And if you do want to see this done before, click my hands or click on the channel.